Started. Hey everybody, welcome to our Thursday night hangout. I'm Erica and I am filling in for our awesome leader tonight, Aaron Young. Today is March, is it the 20th? I think it's the 19th, March 19th. And this is our 9 p.m. weekly hangout. So thank you so much for being here. It's awesome to see your guys' faces again. I know some of you guys were on our business opportunity webinar last night that went very well. And so thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us as well on a Thursday night. The content of tonight's call is really exciting, all kind of centered around recruiting and how we can really get more comfortable with sharing the business opportunity with others. And I know that for many new coaches, that's like a big, hairy, scary thing to do. I know for me that it was definitely something that I was very hesitant and fearful of doing when I started as a coach as well. So I completely get it. And I understand that it can be like very, very overwhelming. But hopefully after tonight's call, you guys will have some like tangible things that you can start doing today to start thinking a little bit more comfortably about this whole opportunity of sharing the business with others. Obviously, Fit Fighter Nation, we have some awesome opportunities to make your guys' job much easier. We have every single month, Aaron and I are going to be hosting a webinar. We've been doing that for the past couple of months, but it's Wednesday night at 8:30. We like to make it about 30 minutes long, but it really is just Aaron and I kind of sharing what Beachbody has done for us, what it's done for our team, all of the awesome opportunities and, you know, what Beachbody has to offer people, from just the discount buyer opportunity to all the way to the extreme earning potential of, you know, superstar diamond hood. So there's lots of different avenues we like to share with people, but mostly we just want to get them in the webinar. We want their eyes on this opportunity, and we want them to then make a decision based on their needs. So in addition to the webinar, we also do our 5-day open house. And our open house for this month starts next week on March 25th, and that will go through the 29th. And hopefully you guys have yourself participated in one of the open houses, but they're really awesome because it's all done in a private Facebook group page, and it's really a great sneak peek into the world of coaching. We get to hear different perspectives from lots of different people on our team, and it's really a great little insight into our world. And honestly, I've had incredible success sharing the open house with people, and people just really love being a part of it because they get to experience the community and get a real feel for what we're all about as coaches and as a community. So every single month you can count on the webinar and you can count on the open house. So what that means to you guys is you really need to start thinking that these are always going to be opportunities for you, that every month you can be inviting people to a webinar. Every month you can be inviting people to an open house. And as soon as Aaron and I determine those dates, we'd like to give them out to you guys so that you can start planning and keeping that in the front of your mind. But there are some like obvious people that we want to be inviting to these things. I mean, obviously we want to invite challengers. Those people are loving Beachbody already. They most likely are addicted to Shakeology and would really love to experience a discount and save some money. So that is going to be like number one, our go-to people. But hopefully tonight we can kind of think about those people outside of just our challenge groups, because honest to goodness, once I started kind of like cracking open that like prospect egg and looking outside of the fact that it's not just challengers who would love to take advantage of the coaching opportunity, but it's other people out there in our life who are business minded, maybe those who have background in marketing or entrepreneurs or people that you see are just rocking out Instagram, rocking out social media. And so there's lots of people who would make really great coaches and who would really benefit from this coaching opportunity. So tonight we are going to be hearing from 3 of our rock star coaches. Megan Harrell is going to be chatting with us about how challengers can transition to coaching. And Christine is going to be sharing some awesome insights on the military option. And then Courtney is going to share with us how she's been able to really grow a team being a new coach. But before we get to that, would you guys all just take a quick second and mute your audio? Obviously, Megan, Christine, Courtney, you ladies need to be on call to unmute quickly. But yes, if you could just mute your audio, you can just find the little, if you click on your box, you can find in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little microphone right there. And if there's a red line through it, that means you're muted. So that's awesome. So also, this is an awesome book that Rock Your Network Marketing Business. This book is incredible, and this book will help you. It's a quick read. It's something you could, go to Starbucks and like have a coffee and read this book like in one sitting. It's incredible. It takes you through, how to present your product, but how to also prospect, and then how to share without selling. This is an incredible book. Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins. Also, Go Pro by Eric Worre is another really good one. And so a lot of what we focus on in Fit Fighter Nation is those approaches of how to share the business opportunity without feeling salesy. And once you kind of get over that, and once you kind of get over yourself and you just come from the place of, I really want to share this opportunity because there's lots of amazing benefits that come with coaching, not to mention the fitness and the nutrition components of things, but also the earning potential. The earning potential is incredible, and the opportunity to save money. So there's lots of different kind of like avenues you can take, but you have to know that this business opportunity is much bigger than what we have going on right here. This business opportunity has the potential to bring people home from full-time jobs. This has the opportunity to help people pay off huge debts, and to buy new homes. I don't know if you guys know much of my story as far as with our finances, but through my Beachbody business, we were able to make a down payment on a new home and seriously double the size of our home because of Beachbody. We were able to pay off a car, pay off $16,000 in credit card, well, not credit card debt, but just debt and things that we owed on. And honestly, if it was not for Beachbody, we would have never been able to do that. We would still be living probably, paycheck to paycheck, spending all the money that we had. But it has really been a blessing. And it's something that is directly related to how many people you help and how many people you serve. And there's not very many businesses like that in the world. So it really is a very awesome setup. So I could talk on and on and on, and I will not do that because I know you guys want to hear from some other people tonight. So Megan, if you could unmute yourself and please share with us some insights on how you've been able to successfully help people transition from that challenger to coaching role.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're awesome.
Okay, my internet's spotty, so cut me off if it doesn't work.
Okay.
Erin asked me to share tips on converting them from challengers to coaches. Before I do that, I would like to share a few tips I have just on general inviting people to the coaching opportunity. The first one is, Erica said, it can be a really hairy, scary thing to invite people to be a coach. Just like you had to get over inviting people into challenge groups, you kind of have to do the same thing with being a coach. The more you do it, the better you get at it, the easier it is. Something I recommend really helps me is my personal development. My personal development really helps give me that motivation to get out there and do that. The second tip I have on that is not to prejudge people. And I'm really bad about that, and I'm really working on that right now. Don't think that they're not a good Beachbody coach because of this or that. Get out there and ask everyone, just like you did whenever you were inviting people to a challenge group. As far as it goes from inviting people to be challengers to coaches, right now I have 50 coaches in my downline. 48 of those coaches were challengers before they became coaches. So for me, that is what works. And to go along with that, in my challenge group, I always end a challenge with, what is your next step going to be? The next step can be to continue with a new challenge group, to end and go on your own. And then I also always put the coaching opportunity in there. Along with that, I really talk up the discounts because, as we all know, the price of Shakeology is usually everyone's biggest objection. So mentioning that discount really can help at that point. Maybe they're at the end of the challenge group, they've lost the amount of weight that they want to lose, and Shakeology being a little more expensive, they're done with it. Well, when you bring that coaching in there and you mention the discount, that just really kind of helps to keep them on board with that. Wording that I use with that, I always tell them that I feel like they deserve the discount. I don't know why that works, but whenever I mention that and I say, you deserve the discount, you've been drinking Shakeology for 3 months, you deserve to get a discount on it. I just think that really clicks and hits home to help them with that. Those who have been rocking my challenge group are the ones that I typically send an invite to first. And when I invite them, I always go with the positives first. I think you would be a good coach because, and I tell them all the positive characteristics that they have. They're a positive person in the group. They know a lot about nutrition. They love fitness. They're very motivating in the group. When you lead with that positive and it gets them feeling better about themselves, then that kind of also helps them want to transfer to be that coach. Also in my challenge groups, and I do this a lot, if we're out of town on vacation, or for example, when we go to Cancun next month, I've already got challengers in place to lead those challenge groups. That gives them those leadership roles, and that gives them the motivation they need to see that they can do this, that they can be a coach. So those are my tips for converting people to being a challenger to a coach.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, that was really good. I was over here taking notes. I think that Megan hits on some really great points. Personal development is huge. I know that when I first started as a coach, personal development was like the first thing that I didn't do. It's exactly the easiest thing to avoid. And it's kind of like, okay, like I'm, personally developing myself. Like, what is all of this about? Like, this is a new thing for me. And so I also know that there's a lot of people who, before they even sit down to invite, whether it's to challenge groups or to the business opportunity, they make it a point to work on maybe personal development, read something really inspiring and motivational before they tackle their big, hairy, scary, because that kind of gives them the inspiration and motivation to actually get out there and reach out to people and to just ask the question. And I think so much we get so caught up in asking the question, and we're so afraid we're going to offend somebody, or what are they going to think of us, or am I going to come across as this crazy like Beachbody lady, or what are they going to think of me? But really, we have to take that out of it and realize that person really might need this. And it's just our job to present the opportunity to them. And then it's their decision to go for it or not. They can say no. And if they say no, then you just say, okay, thank you so much, or, whatever. I mean, it's okay. We say no, and we hear the word no all the time. I have a 4-year-old daughter who that's like her favorite word, but yeah, I mean, so don't be afraid to hear the word no, because at least that person has taken the time to respond back to you and is listening and is open to what you're saying to them. But you would be really surprised the people who just write back and say, sure. And then you're like, oh, okay, like that was easy. That wasn't too bad. But honestly, it's also a law of averages. I don't know how many of you guys have listened to Jim Rohn, but he is a rock star network marketer, and he has built an insane business. He's no longer with us, but he's incredible. And he talks about how, the law of averages. You have to ask a lot of people, and some people are going to fall off. Some people are going to say no. Some people are going to be huge naysayers, but amongst all those people are going to be the people who say, yes, sure, I'll check it out. And so you're constantly trying to ask as many people and share this opportunity with as many people as you can, because within those people, there's going to be a couple yeses. And so that's who we're hunting for. We're hunting for that like golden nugget. So personal development is huge. Another thing I really like that Megan said, you deserve this, because I think a lot of people our age, and especially women and hardworking moms, we don't do enough for ourselves. And when we explain to that other person that they deserve this, and that they've worked so hard for this, and this is something that they really could benefit from, I think it makes them feel like they have permission to move forward with it. So I love that she says that. Something else to consider is any person who has ever purchased a challenge pack can sign up for a coach for free. It didn't used to be that way, but now it is. And so all that looks like is they sign up as a coach and then they get that $39.99 refunded. So $39.99, they'll get that refunded. So anybody who's ever bought a challenge pack can sign up as a coach for free. That's a new thing that, you definitely want to keep that in your mind as you kind of are moving along. So thank you so much, Megan.
You're welcome.
Next, we're going to hear from Christine, and Christine is going to share with us the military coach option. And there's some really great things for our servicemen and women out there that Beachbody has to offer. So, Christine.
Yeah. Hello. Okay. Yeah. So recently I had one of my cousins inquire about the 21-day fix challenge pack, and her husband actually is active in the military. And so it was just such an easy talk. I was so excited to tell her about the program because we had been hearing so much more about it these days. And what Beachbody has done for veterans and active military. So I just let her know, that, hey, you're going to sign up for the 21-day fix challenge pack and you're going to be drinking your Shakeology. You might as well take advantage of the military discount. It's a win-win situation. You're getting the discount and you're not paying for the monthly fees. So it's really incredible what Beachbody is doing and what they're providing for military. So right now I have her. She's my only one that I have as military. But I can tell you I am keeping that option just on the surface to share with so many. But I just want to tell you guys that, it was just a few months ago that Erica and we were just talking at Super Saturday about, I had like 4 coaches under me, and I now have 17 coaches in just a matter of a few months. And I came to realize that it was my approach. I went into way too much detail when I would share the opportunity. I was just basically writing out these paragraphs and paragraphs of information, spewing it all out at one time, and not hearing really anything back. And, I told Eric, I'm not sure what it is. And it all came down to the approach, and I totally changed it. I kept it simple. And I would recognize, some of the coaches that I had that were drinking Shakeology regularly, and, and just telling them, hey, look, you have a passion for this. You love your Shakeology. You plan to keep doing it. Why not take advantage of the discount? And that's really worked. And my challengers, I noticed the ones that are standing out, the ones that are speaking up when things are getting quiet. And, I'm just putting a little bug in their ear. I'm just sending them a little private message and telling them, hey, look, you've really stepped it up. You're really encouraging and motivating. I can see you as a coach. Like, you have what it takes. And I just kind of leave it as that in the beginning. And I just, let them soak that up. And, a week later, I'll tell them again, like, you just have a gift. You are so motivating. And, and I just like to share with them that. And by the end of the challenge group, I'm talking to them about it. I'm letting them know that this coaching opportunity is something they can totally pursue. And, and it's really just turned things around. Oops. And so I've just noticed a change in things for me. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Christine. I'm so glad that you brought up our conversation at Super Saturday, because I think that every single coach has this kind of like pivotal point when they get over their fear of having the coaching conversation. It's like, I had it. I remember when I had it, and I was an Emerald for a year. You guys know that I was an Emerald for my first year in the business, and I've reached Diamond like a year ago. And from that point on, obviously things have really been awesome from there. But really, even once I hit Diamond, I was still a little hesitant on how to share the business opportunity, because we didn't at that point in time have these webinars, and we didn't have these open houses, and we didn't have these systems. And so I kind of felt like it was my expectation and my obligation to explain everything to them, like all there is to know. But luckily, that's not the expectation. The expectation is that like Christine said, we just kind of give them little bits and pieces of things as we go. And so we don't overwhelm them. And we kind of just say that this is something that they have obviously shown that they could do, and they are incredible, and they are doing these things, whether they have the title of coach or not, they are basically coaching. And so I think that is an incredible approach, and definitely keeping it casual and just kind of saying, hey, would you like to check this out? Obviously, that I love Beachbody. Would you want to kind of just get a little sneak peek to see what all this hype is about? And if you keep it casual, I think that people are definitely more inclined to say, sure, why not? But when we kind of like spew this novel of information, I think that's when people get a little scared because they're like, what? I don't have time to read all this. And so anyway, thank you so much, Christine. That really has changed her business. I mean, she's such an incredible leader. So definitely take what she says to heart because she definitely knows what she's talking about. And another rock star who knows what she's talking about is the gorgeous Courtney. And Courtney is like a perfect example of all these things because she started out in the Max 30 group with Aaron and I in January. And she was one of those challengers that just rose to the top. I mean, she was supporting, she was cheering people on, she was getting her workout in. And, I could tell early on that she would be a rock star coach. And so from that point on, she just really showed that she was an incredible leader. And then once she signed up as a coach, I mean, it was just like the whole world opened up. So Courtney has some awesome insights as well on how she has shared the business opportunity as a brand new coach, because obviously new to coaching can bring about all sorts of different types of feelings, but she's been able to rock it out. So Courtney, without further ado, if you could share a little bit with us, we'd really appreciate it.
Sure. I apologize. I don't have much of a voice. Can you guys hear me? Will you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool. Thank you. I've been running a meeting at work all week, and it finally got to me. I have a little visitor next to me. If you see a little face, my little 5-year-old doesn't like to sleep, so she's right next to me. But I just want to share with you my experience. So first of all, I think although it's negative, I'll start with something that goes through my mind almost every day, and I wish I would have found this opportunity and this group of people sooner. But then I think, of course, there's so much time ahead of.
No, we can't.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hello?
We're good.
Okay, I think I just got muted. Okay, we're good. Okay, so anyhow, when it comes to Beachbody, obviously I've been only a part of it since January. I knew from the very moment Erica influenced me to join the challenge group and buy that challenge pack that I was going to become a coach. And really, I think that's where it starts. When you put your mind to it and you set goals, at least for me, then you hit those goals. It might not be always as quickly as you want, but you're going to hit those goals. So I've been very lucky with Beachbody that it matches up with what I'm doing in my career. I work at Stryker as an HR director, and my fitness fanatic craziness that I am. I've always loved fitness. So why I haven't found this sooner, I have no idea, but I'm so glad I did. So when it comes to building the business, what I've been trying to do over the last couple of months is build my brand. Prior to Beachbody, Facebook was definitely used to post pictures of my kids, and I still do that. But I'm really trying to take who I am and use Facebook as my outlet to describe what my brand is. The neat thing is that everything that I do, particularly at Stryker, where I work, is what this coaching is all about. So I'm blessed in my job outside of Beachbody to professionally develop people. So the neat thing about this is I'm taking the experiences I've been able to have about 10 years at Stryker and moving them into a personal development component, and include fitness and wellness and nutrition, which is like the perfect match for me. So putting those two things together. So for me, it has felt very natural. Now, I'm not a salesperson per se, so that was my biggest concern. I support a lot of salespeople, so I think I know them pretty well, but I'm not one myself. But I found, and now I'm learning a lot more about sales as well, is that you don't have to put the price of the product or all the products you're selling. I hardly mention the products. Of course, I slide it in there. But really, it's about sharing your story and finding the right people that are going to connect in with that. So in really developing my business, I'm by no means where the three of those ladies are with coaches. I have six personally sponsored coaches. I seem to be doing pretty well on the retail side, but that really requires a large pipeline. So that's one thing to really think about. I'm thinking about April now. So I have a process that I use to kind of build the pipeline up, potential customers, long lists, and things like that. so that in mid-March, so that when April rolls around, I'm ready to go. So what I found is my SCs usually go up at the beginning of the month because of the pipeline building at the end of the prior month. And then there'll be a little lag. Like right now, I won't see as much business coming through, and then it'll pick back up in April. Now that works for me, but think about what that plan could be in building up your retail side. Of course, by building that up, that's how you build and find coaches. So I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Gallup StrengthsFinder. The Gallup organization is a big partner we use at Stryker. But if you haven't looked up, look up Jim Clifton's Gallup StrengthsFinder. It's just an assessment. If you think of all those personality assessments you can do, anybody can take the StrengthsFinder. And if you guys are interested in taking it, I can get you a discount too. But the reason I bring it up is it helps you understand what your strengths are, and then it helps you understand the strengths of other people. And that's how I go about finding my coaches. So I think and breathe and live in the world of StrengthsFinder because of my profession. But what you can do is figure out, okay, what makes these people tick? How do they operate? What makes them feel like they're a great person? And utilize that to determine if they're going to be a good coach. So I've been able to bucket, the people that I really talk to and connect with into really 4 primary categories. I've got a group of people that are really moms, and I focus on people that I know are going through the fun and the challenges of being a mom. Some are working moms, some are not, but really that component of being a mom. There's also a group of people, really my coworkers. I know a lot of their personalities. It's very easy to determine if they could become a coach because I know them well already, and I don't push it. I'm never going to start with the coaching piece. But really, if they tend to be high achievers, and they tend to possibly want a discount, of course, but really they like to set goals and hit them, that's a perfect thing for coaching. And then also the challengers. I agree 100%. I'm new to running challenge groups. I'm doing my first one alone. I do like doing co-challenge groups, by the way. I'd recommend it. But I'm learning. I'm doing one on my own right now, and you can definitely see the people that can become coaches immediately because they tend to participate more. They are posting more than I'm posting at times. They're bringing recipes in. They're talking about their workouts. They're texting me, so that's easy to see. And you can also use your challenge group to throw in the discount idea, especially after they've gotten used to it and they're making comments about loving Shakeology. For me, I also do a lot on the fitness side because that's my comfort zone. So I have had to and will continue to learn a lot about nutrition and those things, but I tend to pull in my fitness knowledge a lot more. So I have to make sure that I rely on all of you guys and the coaches I pull in to even help me with the nutrition, so find those partners. So anyhow, to sum that part up, I really try to categorize people, and that's the nicest term I can use. I'm not trying to stereotype, but categorize people by what they are motivated by and by their strengths, and figure out who could potentially be a coach. There's going to be some people that are never going to become a coach. That never's not fair. Most likely not going to ever become a coach just by nature of their personality. People are scared. They're afraid that maybe they have to do what you are doing. I've had a lot of people say, well, do I need to post every day? You seem like you're all over this. How do you have enough time? And I said, it's up to you. You could take a lot of time. You can use it as a discount. But I assure you that you're probably going to want to build upon being a discount coach over time. So cater that message. Use your individualization to figure out what message works for each customer. Don't use a one-stop shop. Don't sell the exact same way to every single person. And share that story. Again, I'm only up to 6 coaches, but 6 coaches more than I had 2 months ago. And a couple of them I'm really trying to help understand the business so we can get them to Emerald. So again, a little scattered. I work through a lot of spreadsheets. So if you like that sort of thing, there's a lot available on your Coach Online office. Share these things with your coaches to help them build their business. And then be patient. I've had times, and thank you, Erica, for my text like, oh, this day stinks. I want things to happen a lot faster. It does take time, and I have to remind myself that. So make sure you remind yourself, and then have fun. For me, this has brought the passion that I've needed in my life. If people see you changing and they see you happier and with more energy, they're going to want to know what's going on, and then they're going to want to share it with their friends and their family. So don't be shy. Don't shy away. Don't even lead with the sale, and you'll get there.
Awesome. That was wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Courtney. And just a few takeaways from her sharing. I just feel like You know, we have to be willing to share our experiences because that is what people connect to. And so much of, you know, what you will see in this like Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins is just her suggesting that we really have to find our own voice and we have to find our own story. And that doesn't mean it has to be a 100-pound weight loss story. It can just be, you know, the story of Shakeology and how it has made you feel so much better and how it's taken away aches and pains and given you energy and help you keep weight off and really know that you're doing something good for your nutrition. It doesn't have to be this elaborate long story. I mean, but sharing from that place, always sharing that and knowing that other people want to have that experience too. I think if you always just come from that place that you know you are doing something right. I mean, everybody knows that this is huge, that this has the power to change people's lives. And even if it is just that person who wants to continue drinking Shakeology, it still has the power to change their life. They don't have to necessarily sign up to be a coach and like have this like multi-star diamond business. I mean, even if they're just drinking Shakeology, that's still enough because that has changed their life. So I think that we just have to make it a point to flip the switch in our mind that we're no longer going to be afraid of sharing the business opportunity. We're no longer going to be fearful of saying the word coach because we know that depending on the person that we talk to, we can say things like discount buyer, or we can say, you know, things like the business opportunity. Or for some people, you might not want to say the words business opportunity. You may just want to say, you know, the sneak peek into the Beachbody world, or maybe to get an idea why I love Beachbody so much. I mean, again, if you just think about getting people in there, even like what Megan said, even the person that you think might say no, or even the person that you think in your mind doesn't want anything to do with this, still, you know, mention it. Still say, hey, I have this really cool opportunity. Is this something you'd be interested in? And let them say yes or no. Just ask the question, put the opportunity in front of them, and then let them decide. But like Courtney mentioned, it's going to be an organic process. And the thing about it is it gets easier. I promise you that it gets easier. The more conversations you have, the more times you share, the more times you reach out, the more times you have the same kind of like idea, the same conversation, the easier it will be. As with anything in life, you know, practice does make perfect. And so just like what Christine said, once she herself realized that it was her approach, that she was overcomplicating things, that she was making it way too hard. I also know that there's a question sometimes in the minds of people because they're like, well, if that person becomes a coach, then I'm going to lose that retail commission. And I know that when I was kind of transitioning into a diamond, I thought about that. I thought, okay, well, if this person becomes a coach, then I'm no longer going to get commission off of them. But I promise you, everything is just going to keep building and that momentum is going to keep building. And once you do hit diamond, your team cycle bonus skyrockets. And it really does. And Megan's nodding her head because she knows exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, once you hit diamond, once you hit, you know, 1-star diamond, once you hit 2-star diamond, and then from that point on, as you continue to grow your business, you are going to find that your team cycle bonus is going to sometimes, you know, quadruple the amount of retail. I mean, there's been times when I've had, you know, like, don't tell anyone, but, you know, like maybe $50 in retail in a week. But like my team cycle bonus has been like over 500. And so that's what I mean by the team cycle bonus and the building a team is how you are going to make money. It's how you are going to make this really seriously change your life. The retail is great. And it's really nice. And that 25% is really great. But that's not all there is. That's why it is so important to get to Emerald. That's why it is so important to, if you want to work this business, to get to Diamond, because that's what's going to move that financial piece forward and really going to make the difference and really going to allow you to live comfortably and have that financial freedom that I know every single person here would really love to have. So I think I will go ahead and stop the recording right now. So thank you guys so much for being on this call. I'm going to also leave it open for you guys to ask questions. I know there's a few things going on in the chat, but I also want to remind you that before I stop the recording that all of the webinars that we do are recorded. So like the call we just did last night, the webinar we just did last night, it is recorded and it's actually really good. So if you guys want to share that with other people, it's great. So how I would do that is just say, hey girl, I know that maybe you were busy the other night, because I had a couple people who were supposed to be on it and didn't make it. But, would you want to take some time to listen to the recording? And a lot of times they'll say yes, but you can certainly share that as like a third party tool anytime. They don't necessarily have to be on that call live. You can certainly use that webinar anytime, whenever works for you. So watch it yourself and see how awesome it is, and then maybe see how you could share that with other people. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. I think, maybe.